On January 27th, Rosanne Cash performed at Lemoyne College. She graced us with an interview about her family, her music, and her passions. So, I wanted to ask you actually, I understand that your father, he was inspired to research his family history, the Scottish side of family history, after a chance meeting on a 1970s plane. What inspired you to, because I understand after your father's passing, you've actually been going to Scotland quite a lot and sort of researching or filling in the holes, as it were.
I think that is a normal developmental thing that happens is when you lose your parents particularly. You're more interested in your genealogy and where you came from and what they've left you and who you are and how the past connects with you and connects with your own children into the future. And I did get more interested in our family history in my 40s, and since both my parents have died, I'm much more interested in it. I think, I don't know that young people are or should be as interested in that because it is all about the future for them. But at my age, a lot of it is about the past and what I'm leaving to my own children.
Well, I think that's sort of reflected on your latest album, The List. So
yeah,
a
exactly.
Reflection of the past. Now, as I understand, it was a list of 100 songs that your father passed on to you.
Yes.
Of 100 songs. Could you develop on that, sorry?
Well, he gave me a list, when I was 18 years old, he gave me a list of 100 songs that he considered essential songs, essential country songs. But it was broader than country. It was early folk, southern blues, Delta, gospel. It was really American roots music. And it was an education. In fact, that's what he said when he gave it to me, this is your education. And I kept that list all of these years. And I never, ever thought about making a record based on the list until the last 2 years, you know. I think it's the same thing about being interested in your genealogy. I'm interested in my musical genealogy. And I had this document, this education, this legacy that he gave me. And it's only now that I thought, it's time to step into it.
But as I understand, the Cash family, the American side, it happened in 1612, I believe.
Yeah, might have been a little bit later than that, 1630 something maybe. The first William Cash came over from Fife and settled in Salem, Massachusetts, and then he brought his nephew over, and he went south and settled in Virginia, and that's my family's line.
And then you yourself, you were born in Memphis, Tennessee, is that
right?
Yes, that's quite a journey, really, from East Fife, and I don't know if that really makes sense. I mean, I understand you've been to Fife since, but going from Fife to Tennessee is really quite a leap. I mean...
Rolling hills, beauty, green, yeah.
Obviously, your recent album, The List, was, as we said earlier, the 100 songs that your father had compiled. Now, in terms of prose, or as a writer yourself, could you name any influences? I'm not asking you to list 100, artists, but just a few of who have influenced you.
Well, the Beatles were tremendously important to me because I grew up in that era, and that was the first thing that kind of just opened my mind wide and thought, oh, this is my music, I'd loved Ray Charles and all the things my mother listened to. I loved my dad, he was tremendously influential. But when the Beatles came, that was kind of shook me to my core.